Hi everyone, and properly, you're welcome to this lecture. And today we'll be talking about critical discourse analysis. And for us to understand any phrase, clause, or sentence, or paragraphs. In fact, I'll call it sometimes essay, sometimes collections of works. We'll need to always break it down. You know that? And when you break it down, it helps you to understand the components, the different aspects of that text. And then you can then build up into a whole. Does that make sense to you? Now, take a look at this word, critical discourse analysis. For us to understand critical discourse, we have to first and foremost understand these individual words. I'm making it as simple as it can be. Building the castle. You won't ask me the question of how did this castle become a castle? It started from foundation. So let's take a look at the bricks that makes the foundation. So now, critical. What does it mean to be critical? What does it mean to be critical? Can someone respond to me? What does it mean to be critical? What? What did you say? To be harsh. To be harsh. Okay. Any other contrary? Okay, yeah. To find problem. To find problem even when there's no problem. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What? Okay, yeah. To analyze, it doesn't have to be negative to analyze what you've done. Okay, analyze. Okay, how do we now differentiate critique? The one with TIQUE and critical. Is it different? So tell me, what is critic? Of it, review. So if I'm being critical, can't it be review too? I mean, it's review, but it's perceived to be negative. So does it mean this will always be a negative analysis? So what is it? And we go into the dictionary on our phones, on our system, and check the meaning of critical. How I see. You bought a newspaper today? It's a free one. Okay. Metro, yeah, you picked it. Disapproving comments or judgments. Disapproving comments or judgments. Is it disapproving judgments too, or just judgments? Okay, disapproving judgments or comments. Expressing or involving an analysis of merits and fault. So it could be positive and it could be negative. Ina, do you have any view about that? Nali and Iri? Yes or no? Can unmute your mic, don't just be quiet. Feedback is necessary.
No.
Okay. Who else? No one wants to pass. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I agree that it doesn't have to be necessarily negative. It just has to be sort of an in-depth review of whatever you're looking at.
Okay, nice, lovely. Now we'll take it up. So far, we discussed fourth estate journalism. We have discussed public sphere. And you know what this is, right? Are you sure you know? You all know what public sphere is now? You know what fourth estate journalism is, right? Fourth estate journalism, you know what that means, right? And you know what citizen journalism is. So we can move on, right? Lovely. So you can tell particularly when you see something that has to do with public sphere. You can tell when you see fourth estate journalism, and you can actually identify citizen journalism, right? Lovely. So today, We're looking at critical discourse analysis. And we'll understand what discourse is, what makes a discourse, discursive formations, and what discourse analysis is. We'll look at the life of Mikhail Foucault. How do you pronounce it? Mr. Mikhail Foucault. Yeah. And the power and politics of truth. The politics of truth is his concept. And the idea of critical. I think we've discussed that already now. What it means to be critical. So now, let's define it. You know what discourse is. Everyone can say DICUSS is different from DISCOURSE. Do you agree? Say discourse, talk about something. So in your discussion, we can then find discourse. Discourse could be a piece of writing, a conversation between and myself. And then, how did Foucault describe what discourse is? He said it is an organized or an organizing body of knowledge. Can we engage ourselves at the moment? Everybody observe. You're doing journalism, right? Why? Because you want to. Sure. You don't need to, right? You don't need to. Why do you think you don't need to, but you want to? You can survive without journalism. So why then do you want to? It's something that makes you want to do what? Live. So without it, you can't live. Life is a bit bleak without it. So how would journalism change the world for you? Yeah.
For me, it's just going to change my work for me.
Okay.
It's going to make it more interesting. It's going to make it more engaging. I can go out into the world. When I engage with media, I am very critical about what I absorb and what I consume out of it. So that's how it changes for me. I've become more literate with journalism.
Thank you very much for that. Now, that is an example of a discourse. If you take that out of it and put it in the text and you want to engage with it, you will know the kind of person she is. And you know she's also a very careful person. Why she said she disagreed that I don't believe it will change the world for me, but it will change my world for me. It means she's philosophical in her approach. I can say she's individualistic to some extent too, because she's driving her own environment, making decisions that would influence her, meaning she's got power within herself. She decides what happens, not the world deciding what happens. Do you get that idea? Is that clear to you all? That's an example of discourse. As we move on, you get to understand what just happened. You remember this instance, that's a typical example I'll be writing on. So it is with rules and regulations. Now, she said, it's changed the word for me. She said, it changed my word for me, not the word for me. Do you know the difference between the word and my word? Is our word not our word? That's a question you should start with. Our word may be different from ours. Your word is different from mine. Yes, we are in the same word, but you will define our environment, our cycle, and how we live life, our culture, our beliefs, and how we do things. That's what brings the word as a broader concept and my word as your narrow. So those definitive terms makes it yours. Does that make sense to you? Those online, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
No feedback. I can't see your chat. If you're chatting, you may have to always unmute your mic. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Lovely. Thank you. Please, let's be more active so we can, we can move faster. So these rules, you have to understand the rules of language. When you understand the rules of language, it helps you define and know the meaning of things within their context of usage. Do you get that? That is what you have to know as a foundation to understanding discourse. Now, which govern the particular practice and ways of thinking and acting. From there, I can understand our own way of thinking. If I have another discourse with you, let's take another example. Should I go to male gender now? Up to me. Hi. How are you doing today? You good?
I am, yeah.
Okay, lovely. What types of journalism are you interested in?
Sport journalism.
Sport journalism, why sports?
I've always loved football, and I'm not good at
How many times have you been to the stadium?
Depends what stadium you talk
Depends what stadium. Any stadium.
about.
Standard stadium.
I don't know how many times.
You don't know. When was the last time? Ever seen a camera? A sports camera?
I haven't in person, but
You have seen it, right? You haven't seen it in person. You've been to stadium. Don't you see them
yeah,
there?
but I'm not sitting in the first row.
Okay, lovely. And do you imagine the speed at which they walk? Can you imagine? Yeah, when you run from north, south, east, west, and the camera keeps moving. And he can say, oh, now let's pick this out. Lara, what can you take out of that discourse? Yeah. And it's frequent in stadium. Do you think you will ever be interested in handling the camera in sports journalism? If you would have to be, you really don't have to handle camera if you wanted to do sports journalism. You can be an analyst, you can write. But I think he won't be interested in the camera because he's been to stadium several times, but he had never gone closer or seen the camera. It means his interest is not in that direction. For somebody who is interested in handling photography, journalism, sport journalism, when you get to the stadium, you want to know, how do you even get to see these things at home? Where are the cameras? Oh, this is the big camera. Oh, when we see the net shaking, the camera behind the post is the one doing it. If he's talking in that direction, then I will know that in future, he's likely to become a photojournalism in sport, a photojournalist in sport. But I think, let's confirm from me. So, in sport journalism, we have photojournalists, we have cinematic photojournalists, we have those who record live, we have those. What? You deduct, you explain, you interpret, you predict. That is what discourse is all about, analysis. Now, discourse is or are historically contingent social system that produces knowledge and meaning. Have you seen that in practice now? You've seen that? Take a look at this definition. There are historically contingent social system that produces knowledge and meaning. From the discussion, she has been able to produce knowledge, and I've been able to produce meaning. What is meaningful to him? To him, camera is not meaningful. To him, he's interested in enjoying the game. Not just that, he's also interested in talking about the game and reporting it to others. Does that make sense to you? Any question online? No questions online?
No.
Okay, thank you. Discourses enables. It's also constrained. It also constitutes. You can see it enabled me to be able to understand him. It constrains me to the amount of information it provides, determine the extent to which I will understand him. You understand that? If you provided me with less, I won't be able to say more. The chances that I can understand him is very low. If I'm to engage in discourse with him, and he decides not to tell me much, what happens? I won't know much. Let's try something within a minute. Hi, may I know you? Your name?
Oh, my name's Andrew.
Andrew. Andrew what? Andrew what? Okay, where are you from? Okay, my name is Ola. I'm from Nigeria. Now, in the next conversations, I try as much as possible to restrict the information you give to me. I mean, personal details, anything. So, why here? So, why studying journalism? Journalists are considered wicked and critical. They don't tell the truth. You know that. And why do you want to do journalism?
So I'd like to be a journalist who tells the truth. And
Do you agree with me that journalists don't tell the truth actually?
depends which journalist you're talking about.
Us. You can see. Tell me, what kind of journalists are you talking about? Or which one do you want to exactly want to be?
Personally, I prefer broadcast journalists.
Broadcasters, those who they just script things to and they just read it out. You don't have any influence over the content. It means if someone the fake truths or lies, or you're just there to sit like a boom, 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 and listen to the teleprompter and then read the teleprompter and you're dishing out lies. Is that what you want to be? So tell me, how would it be different? Boss. What do you take out of that? Yeah. You. It. Yeah. It's frightening. No, that was before. The conversation went on before I sat down. You want to be unfair to say that my standing beside him is influencing his decisions now? So why? Am I less human than he is? Or more human than he is? Equals. So why should my sitting beside him influence him? Yeah. Thank you very much. That is power. So discourse analysis is about power and knowledge. Guys online, do you understand what we've just done? Nelly, what?
I couldn't hear everyone speaking. I could only hear you speaking.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have their mic under my control, and I couldn't help that. But we just add a scenario, yeah, and we're trying to establish power and discourse and language. Well, I hope the transcript may help in future. Let's activate this transcript because I think the transcript is quite very sensitive to information. So, oh, this transcript is there. Why don't you read this? Read the transcripts. Yeah, there's some words that are lost. Yeah.
Sorry, there was just no sound coming through when everyone else was speaking.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, we try as much as possible. Those are the limitations of being online. You know, when we don't have a mics all around. So look at this man, Michael Foucault, born 1926, died 1984. He was a very radical thinker. He thinks exactly opposite the normal. And he is a French philosopher. He specialized in histories of social systems, social institutions, of course, prisons, mental asylums, and hospitals. He believes that prisons should not exist. He believes that prison is an element, is a system of torture to both human bodies and also their soul. Historically, when they want to punish individuals, you bring them to the public and you punish them before the eyes of everyone. But now, the prison system takes them into isolation. And it's not just a torture before the body, like beheading, whipping, and all lashings, but now it is what? Attack on the soul. So Foucault was interested in new ways of thinking about power, knowledge, and discourse. And let's talk about this. Is discourse about power and knowledge? Would you say it is about power and knowledge? Is discourse about power or knowledge? Yeah. Is discourse about power and knowledge? You think so?
Yeah.
Who disagrees? Is discourse about power and knowledge? Hmm? Yes and no. Yes, because
Yes, because maybe close to you or something that you understand. So, but maybe not, because in critical discourse analysis, it may be something that you see online, but you don't actually understand the whole picture. So you're just talking about something like maybe a small piece of a larger topic.
nice. Yeah. You want to say something? You should say something today. I won't let you go like last week. You said the same thing you want to say. Oh my God. I'll ask some other questions and you say the same thing you were supposed to say. And yes, I'll say discourse is about power and knowledge. And I'll also say no, if you lack power and knowledge, you can engage in discourse and know nothing about it. True holders, the true proud holders are not those who have force or even money, but those who have deemed to have knowledge of particular discourses. If I have knowledge about his personal life, I stand at a position of influence to influence his future, his decisions more. If I want to engage him and his interests, the information I have can help me influence your decisions. If I want you to become a friend, all I need to do is to put forward every opportunity to go to the stadium and do some sports, and you become my friend. You get it? So it is about the information. When they say knowledge is power, that's what it means. You get it? Knowledge is power. So there are those who possess professional knowledges and expertise, and therefore they define truth. And what are they? Examples: doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, teachers. Because they know, they'll tell you what they know. Because they know, they'll tell you what the meaning, implication of what you're passing through. And I want to tell you, at some point in time, you may be very interested in that camera works. You may need to look at it. Yeah. Just have a look into what kind of camera they use, how they handle it. So you stand at the position of authority. Sometimes football matches are framed. The referee and the judges, they all depend on the camera angle before they can judge, especially in cases of offside. You know that they have to revisit the playback and then decide if it's offside. Just imagine if the cameraman has manipulated or decided not to shoot that particular scene. No decision can be made. So power produces knowledge, and no power relation without the correlative constitution of field of knowledge. So you can't have power in isolation. If you're having power, then you must be having power over something. You get that? In discourse, every conversation, there is power. Somebody is dominating the conversation and somebody is following. It may not be obvious, but if you look at the choice of words, you see someone is leading. There will always be a leader. There will always be a follower. Even in an egalitarian society where you have pressure groups, somebody will have to lead the group. And the person leading the group influences what happens and in what directions democracy goes. So it is not possible for power to be exercised without knowledge. Here, you can't stand in front of the class and start dishing rubbish and you think people will want to follow you. If I come into the class and say, oh, hello, everyone, and I know that everybody here, you want to get it first. If you don't want to get it first by hard work, you really don't mind having it cheap, isn't it? Answer me. If you're here and you just want to fail, why are you here? Do you know how much you're paying? How much? 9 grand? Yeah, it's too small, right? Too much. How long will it take you to pay that? It means technically, if you fail, you still be in debt. So you want to get the best out of it. So I'm here to help you get a first. And if you want to get a first, you have to obey me. Yes, I agree. But if I deliver my job less, you won't know. But if I deliver it more effectively, you will get the result. So I want to give you the secret that other lecturers will not give you. What did that just communicate? I've just singled myself out of every other person and saying that you get what you not get from others from me. And I'm not going to make you bored. You won't be reading so long a text. You enjoy the process and you still get your first. I'll do everything within my power to make you enjoy your fee, to make that £9,000 worth it. All you just need to do what I ask you to do every time I ask you to do it, when I ask you to do it, and submit when I have said you should submit. Who is controlling in that context? Who is controlling? Yeah, the discussion, the actions, the future. Why would you obey? Because you want to get it first. Because I have a knowledge that you want to get it first. Even if when you know you cannot get it first, I want to get something close to a first. So if you have a knowledge of somebody, of what they want, you have the chances of exercising power over them. When you have something that they need, even when you don't have it, if you lie and you're able to prove that you can deliver it, and they are unable, they are not knowledgeable enough to know that you cannot offer it, then you have control over them. That's why sometimes you fall in love. You are so soaked in love, and the person you're falling in love with is just there to scam you, cheat you, and dump you. It's crazy. Emotions, the minimal states, but most very radical, terrifying states of our emotions. You wanted to say something? Okay. I think have I said everything? Have I said everything? That's your raising your hand. Okay, lovely. So it is not possible to exercise power without knowledge. And knowledge and power goes hand in hand. It is impossible for knowledge to engender power. I skipped this out. It is impossible for knowledge not to engender power. Do you understand that? A prisoner who is in prison, who has the knowledge that, oh, the security officers go to sleep, or there is a change of shift at a particular time. And during that change of shift, somebody will be leaving the post and someone will be returning to within the seconds of the exchange. There are chances that if I get to the door, I can escape. That's knowledge. And they become powerful if he executes that, and he will outsmart the system. Check it. It's about knowledge and power. Anyway, I saw it very late, just last year. Yeah. Well, I'm not a bandwagon fellow. I went after much loud noise, and blah, blah. If there's no time to do it, I won't do it until future time. So I decided to say it whenever. But Money East, I saw it. I'm even looking forward to the future edition if there are no series in future. You know, Money East. It's about knowledge and power. The thieves knew everything about the lapses of the system, the structural, and the agenda of the states. And they've got the secrets in their hands. And they've come to steal from the government, from public fund. But the states don't want the secrets to be known. And what do? They will be quiet each time the thief strengthens them that if you attack, we will reveal the secrets. So it was an exchange of power and mantles. So who knows father has the most power? Hi guys online. Are you still there with us?
Yeah.
Everybody online, are you still there?
Yeah,
Have I lost you?
We're here. Sorry, I don't think Ina's mic was working.
You don't think what?
Ina did respond, but I don't think her mic was working, but we're here.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. I hope you're not uncomfortable, Anna. I'm sitting by you. We're friends, okay? Let's move on. What does this mean? We must seek once and for all to describe the effect of power in negative terms. Power excludes. It represses. It censors. It's abstract. It masks. It conceals. In fact, power produces. It produces reality. It produces domains of objects and rituals of truth. Do you agree? Do you know when I have power, I can mask the information? I've said I can give you all a first, but I've not told you how you must get, what you must do to get that first. If you think you get a first by just obeying those rules and not doing it up to standard, you can fail. If you go copy and paste, what happens? Plagiarism, flagged. Grade, low. Yes, you obeyed the instruction, but you didn't obey one, which is what quality is. It didn't take time to do the right thing. Yes, you submitted at the right time. But what did you submit? The content. Do you understand that? My nature of teaching is to use examples that we can all relate to and think about, and how it can also influence all of those things that makes a wider, bigger picture of what we are talking about here. So if I'm talking about all of this, be attentive because it's going to help you even in your assignment and every other courses. All right, so power excludes. I've decided to limit the circulation of my power by excluding that information, except I want to provide you that. Okay, yes, you do all of this, but ensure that you put enough effort to read wide and write well. Ensure you cite well and include your references. How do you do this? That's another question. If you want to know how to do it, then you have to either research online or ask me directly. Or come during my office hours to ask, how can I do better in writing essay? Oh, I've never done one before. The last time I wrote essay was my primary school composition, or the day I wrote love letter to my blah, blah, blah. Or when I was conversing for some votes for my MP, or when I was just contributing to the, in fact, I don't think I'll ever want to write anything like that, but now I have to write it because of this course. How do I do it? Then we can talk about how to get that power. Let's move on. So it marks, it represses. The same way, if I want to scare you, come to this class, hey, you know what? Nobody gets an A in this course except you are a god. Have you seen 3 Idiots? You love it. That's from your country, right? That's from your country. Where are you from? Pakistan. Okay, I love it. I love 3 Idiots. It's my all-time live movie. The professor with 𝙬𝙬. If you have not seen 3 Idiots, you should see it before our next class. You should. And I think if you want to practice your discourse skills, read about it. My PhD, I'll be using this discourse analysis tool, and I've tried to design an instrument that makes it easier using Foucault and Norman Fairclough's models. But then let's move on. It also conceals, the state conceals information. Governments, they don't tell you everything. That's why they have what they call official secret acts. Meaning that it's always a secret somewhere that you don't know as the led, as citizens. You understand that? Secrets are meant for powerful people. Go and read 48 laws of power. You know it? 48 Laws of Power, that book. If you want to be a true leader, want to change your world, understand that to even help you with your friends. So we talked about this and more. What else? That is about questions of method. My aim is to discover this. Folk are talking. Say my aim is to discover how men and women govern themselves and others by the production of truth. Who defines the truth? You and I define it. The establishment of domains in which practices of true and false can be made at once, ordered and pertinent. So each society has its own regime of truth. What is truth to the Democrat is not true to the conservative. It's not truth to the public. It's not true to a poor person. What is true to another person may not be, may be false to another, because we are looking from different angles. Can you see the back of my head? You can't. Why? Because you can already see my face. Okay, Lara, can you see my nose? So what is true? If she tells you that my nose is white at the moment, it is truth because you can't see it. So that is all she's saying. It's about perspective. So for you to actually know the truth, you have to go round, round, and round. You know, camera 360. You know, camera 360 that shows if you put a camera in here, it will show every dimension of this place. You have to look, not just be on the surface, but search in depth. Moving forward, each society has its own regime of truth, and we know that, and we'll move on with that. So faculty discourse as rules of practice, a body of knowledge, historically, contextually specific formations, and truth are discursively produced. Meaning, you can have an agenda, and because you're in conversation with somebody, your agenda may change because the knowledge, if I'm here to sell a product to you, oh, that pencil you're writing, you're using, you can use it for 40 years. And you say, no, you disagree, you've always used it for so years. I say, no, it's because you don't keep it safe. You always have to sharpen, that's why it gets short early. If you keep it safe, you can use it for even 100 years. Do you agree with me? The pencil you have there, do you know you can use it for your lifetime? No, when you're using it, you can still keep it. If you use it carefully, you don't break the lead. Yeah, because you ensure that you're disciplined enough not to mount too much pressure. Do you agree? It's difficult, but it's doable. That's the point. That's the point. I was coming to make you agree. And I have every reason to make you agree. So let's move on. Subjectivity is about this consciousness and agencies are realizing and through the process of discourses, and agencies and processes are systematically from blah, blah, blah. All of these are stories, but discourse is what we have explained and discussed in this class. And this is another form of discourse. Even when she's still disagreeing in her mind, she's trying to disagree in her mind, but she can't say it out. Because I have not allowed her, because I'm still exercising power here. I decide when she speaks. That is power. So the same way the media decide who is interviewed. If she wanted, but she may not be heard. Many interviews go behind the scene, but they never make it to the TV. She can talk, but who makes you hear? The media. And if you're talking, if I'm not listening, or I'm listening and I didn't respond, you may feel less of yourself. So guys, thank you very much. And do you have any questions at this point in time? Guys online, I hope you enjoyed the lecture today. You don't like me.
Sorry, we're here.
You don't like me, right?
No, we like you.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the lecture?
Yeah, it was good, thank you.
So if you know you enjoyed the lecture, ask me a question. I'll make you think about that for the next 1 minute. Why somebody else asked a question? Yeah.
Okay.
Money having power than knowledge. I disagree, because if you don't have knowledge, you can lose the money you have. So money is an instrument subjected to power. The person with power may lose the entire money if he comes across someone with knowledge, because the person with money needs power and he can buy power with the money. He won't know what to do with it. That is why there are successful business people and people who go bankrupt in business. So back to you online. You can ask your question now if you have got one.
I don't think I've got a question.
Oh my God. Does it mean you don't understand everything or you understand everything?
I think I understand everything, I hope.
All right. Because sometimes when we don't have questions, either we are not listening at all, we understood everything. Do you have questions from the house, please? Anna? Why, this course is too simple, right? Then I should be expecting a first from everyone, right? Is that the same online? Should I be expecting a first from everyone? I've answered everything. Thank you very much. So we'll go on our break and we come back by 10:05. Is 5 minutes enough? Okay, you want 10 minutes. All right, you come back by 10:10 so we can have our seminar. Come prepared and remember your group A and group B. Thank you. Yeah. You have a question? Hey, we have a question.
It's not about that.
It's not about the lecture, so we can end this lecture for now. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned for our seminar.